Mic check 1 2 1 2, ladies and gentlemen. You're now in the building. It's your boy Coach K, and this is the Hustlers Journal Season 2, episode number 19. We are one away from the season finale. Before we finish this up, I want to thank everybody for taking the time to listen to this past season and seasons in the past as well. I really do appreciate the love and support that we get on this show. We know how hard it is to start a podcast and to start a movement, to get people to listen to what you have to deliver, what you have to say. Of course, we try always to deliver content that's going to be motivating, inspiring, empowering, and encouraging to you, the listener, to make sure that people have a way to move in a certain direction if they're looking for positive energy, positive vibes, something to get them boosted in the right direction. We're here to do that as best as we can. So we do appreciate you guys taking the time to listen. Now, I'm trying to turn the direction of things as to how I do these interviews when I speak to different people, whether it be doctors, whether it be like people working on the front lines, whether it be people who are working in the background, whether it be for music, arts, entertainment, and stuff. I'm trying to really change up the theme of things. I speak to a lot of people in fitness, a lot of people when it comes to mental health and whatnot. But today I had the opportunity to sit down with an up-and-coming talent who's been around. Actually, I shouldn't say up-and-coming because he's been around for a while. Doing this thing out here in the 514 out of Montreal. Shout out to Montreal. Shout out to everybody out here doing their thing in the city, representing for the city, especially all the artists, musicians, many talents out here coming out of Canada. People are sleeping on what the talent that we have out here. But shout out to all my talented other MCs and hustlers out there in Toronto. I'm originally from Toronto, as you guys would know. Many artists out there who are doing their thing. Shout out to my guy, Drama. Shout out to my guy, Late Night Leno, my guy, Jay Neff. A lot of people out there doing their thing. But today we get a chance to sit down with King KLV. This dude has been dropping some serious tracks. I got a chance to check out his content since we first got in contact. And I've been thoroughly impressed by the stuff that he's delivering, man. He's really making his way to make things happen. Anyone who thinks out there that being a rapper, being an artist is easy, he definitely, I'm pretty sure, is going to explain to you that it's not that easy because there is a lot of work that goes into it. And it gives me a chance to actually learn for myself because I've been a person who has said in the past, man, I could be a rapper, no problem. Listen, I'll write some things down, give me a beat, we're good to go. But there is a lot of work that goes into it. You never want to disrespect a person's craft. So today we get a chance to explore his craft a little bit more and to get more into detail as to how he started and where he's going from here. So my guy, King K, what's up, man? What's going on?
How you doing, man? Appreciate it. Appreciate the opportunity.
No problem. I appreciate you making the time to come on. We know that COVID, this pandemic has had a lot of people inside. Normally, I would do this interview in person if I had the opportunity to do so. But of course, we have to be able to do it online, keep everybody safe. But big question I want to ask you, how you been, man? Like with all this situation happening all around us, like how have things been affecting you?
Pretty much just like everybody else, just adapting to it. Spending a lot more time in the house. Besides that, just trying to stay healthy, trying to stay safe.
Right.
Yeah, pretty much the same though.
Keeping it the same for sure. Did you have any family members that were affected or any friends that are affected by the disease itself, or you've been kind of
thankfully everybody's been all right on this side.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it's been a rough go around for a lot of people. It's amazing that we actually hit an actual year today. I think today's marks the year anniversary as to when everything actually got started. Wow. Last year is crazy that 365 days have passed since then. And a lot of people thought they wouldn't make it. And unfortunately, some people didn't, but a lot of people are still here, like yourself, like myself, and others as well. So truly grateful to be able to have the opportunity to continue to do what it is that we're doing. But we're going to get things started off. We're going to start jumping right into it as far as you as an artist, as far as how you got started. Give us a backstory. How did you actually begin King K?
So it goes pretty far back. I'd say it goes back to me being about 10, 11 years old.
Okay.
I was living in Mississauga, so right to you. Mississauga, I lived there till I was about 11 years old, and then we moved down here to Montreal.
Okay.
Me and my family. And on our trip down, on the 6-hour ride down to Montreal, me and my little brother were bored. Just started writing lyrics. We're big fans of 50 Cent at the time, so we went.
Rich or Die Trying, great album.
Sure, but yeah, from there I just started writing lyrics and never stopped from then. Like just from 11 years old, ended up linking with some people that actually put me in the right direction. And when I was like 12, 13, I did my first couple of shows, 14, 15 radio shows, all types of stuff, and just continued from there. Took little breaks here and there, just focus on life itself. But yeah, since 10, 11, just been something I love to do and something that I like to do professionally, you know?
Oh, that's dope, man. That's dope. I mean, to be an artist,
Mhm.
it takes a lot of work.
Yeah.
A lot of dedication, commitment, hustle,
Fact.
sweat, sometimes even tears for some people.
Mhm.
But you still kept going. Like, what is it that made you just keep moving in this direction to say, you know what, I'm not going to stop here as it's a pastime. I'm going to make this into something that I want to do as like my full time moving forward as an artist?
Honestly, like, there's definitely going to be times, and there was times for me that you do stop and you're like, oh, what am I really doing this for? But if you have that real love for it, where my main love for it is I just love writing. I love writing the lyrics and I love recording the lyrics. I love.
The sound cut? Hold on, one second. I think the sound cut. One second.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good now.
Okay. I'm back.
Yeah, we're good now. We're good. Yeah.
Cool. But yeah, definitely. I just love the writing, the performing, all those little aspects to music itself and rapping itself. So just having that would make me keep on going, and just the love for it makes me keep on going. So
okay, cool. So you kept going. Does your brother still rap, or is he?
He's on a path now. He's a professional photographer.
Okay, cool.
He's into videography too, which goes hand in hand. Like, he does some of my music videos and stuff like that.
Nice.
He was making beats for a while and stuff like that, but he's more on a different path now, but definitely really in tune with music and in tune with my stuff as well. So
that's good, man. It's solid. Keep it in the family. You mentioned making beats.
Yeah.
Obviously part of making music and making it really jump out and stand out are the beats. I was listening to Level Up, the beat there is fire, the beat for 6'4" to 6'8".
Yeah.
Man, I was like, yo, I need to play this a couple times. Window Shopper beat is fire. In Love with the Money. Like, you have a nice diverse feel for the beats and stuff. How long does it take you to actually pick a beat for the track that you're gonna do?
It all depends, to be honest with you. It's like there's a lot of different ways I go about starting a song. So like, sometimes if I'm in the car driving for a long period of time, I have a pack of beats that I got from different producers around the city, or even a couple beats from some guys on YouTube that I met, and I'll download all of them, put them on a file on my phone, so that when I'm driving, I could just listen to the beats, pick through them, maybe write a chorus from there on just like a beat that I like, go from there, or I'll write a verse with nothing playing, and then go through beats, and then try and pick the best beat that verse goes to, and continue from there.
Sounds good, man. Wow. Yeah. Like I said, people who believe that there's not much work that goes into being an artist and putting everything together, my man has explained to you right now. Like, you got to take time to pick through the right thing and put things down. Have you ever made a track, or maybe a couple of tracks that you're like, man, the flow was all right, but the beat didn't really go with that. I shouldn't have went with this.
Yeah.
For
sure, definitely.
Yeah. And what happens with those? Do you just kind of use them as like a throwaway, or is it like a maybe I can see how I can use this later on?
Yeah, sometimes they become throwaways, and then sometimes I'll take the verse or the hook that I made on that beat, and then use it later on something else, on a feature or something like that.
Okay, say.
Yeah. I try and use all the verses that I have if I think that they're good. If they're not good, then they just get scrapped or whatever. But yeah, I usually like to use every single verse that I make, for sure.
Every single verse you use, okay, for sure. Yeah, man, you got a nice study full of bars. Guys, if you haven't had a chance to check out King KLV, check him out on Instagram. All his content information is going to be available for you guys to be able to check him out, show him some love, let him know that he's out here putting in his work. Now, we touched a little bit in the preview about a couple of bars that you dropped. One in particular that stood out to me when I listened to it. I was like, yeah, this jumped out. I've probably heard it before, as far as like how it was mentioned, or even just in a conversation, because I know I've had a conversation with other artists and just people in general in music who always say that there is like this, not stigma with Canadian artists, but like I don't know, like a preconceived notion. Like, you know, okay, it's a Canadian artist. There's already there's this thought of, man, they're not going to be that good. And you actually said with a flow like this, you wouldn't think I was Canadian.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, I want to sit on this for a second because I think it's important that people get a chance to listen and hear from you as a Canadian artist. What kind of challenges do you go through being that you're a Canadian artist and you're trying to make your way through? Like, what kind of struggles do you go through knowing that people sometimes do often think that?
Honestly, just also Quebec. I feel like Quebec goes into it too, because I see a lot of my Toronto people and a lot of other Toronto artists is able to get the recognition that they deserve, even the underground ones.
Yeah.
But I feel like Quebec plays a big part in it because it's mainly French, right? And I'm an English artist. So I feel like that plays a big part in the recognition and also like just getting noticed kind of thing. You know what I mean? But besides that, like, I feel like just like anywhere else, if you're grinding and you're serious about it, like I am, I feel like it's inevitable that success is going to come. So.
It's going to come. That's awesome, man. That's a great mentality to have, especially because, I mean, you're still young, but other people coming up there, they got to be able to listen to this and say, okay, you know, don't stop doing what you're doing because inevitably success will come. Obviously, it doesn't come overnight, but growth definitely does happen. How do you feel that you've grown now since your first project, even till now?
I changed a lot for sure. Like just mainly for my first project to the project that I'm going to be dropping in a few weeks. The biggest difference that I see from my music is obviously the flows got better. The delivery is better. A lot of things are better, but my main thing is I've been through a lot more. So I'm able to speak on a lot of things that when I was younger and I dropped my first tape, I wasn't able to speak on these things because I wasn't going through any of them, right? So
for sure.
Yeah, I feel like that's the biggest thing.
For sure. So life experience has played to your bars a lot. Okay.
Yeah.
Out of your projects, I mean, I know that you have your new project coming up in a bit, Dope Boy Diaries. Make sure you guys check that out. Out of your projects that you've dropped so far, which project did you have the most fun working with or working on?
It would be my first project I dropped in 2012.
Okay.
Because that's when my brother was still making beats. So every single track on that album is produced by him.
Right.
We recorded everything together. We went to the studio together. My brother would make me redo my verse. He'd be like, no, I don't like that verse. Do that instead. So it was really family, and like just the feeling that I got from that one felt different. I like that one a lot. For sure.
Yeah. They usually do say like your first championship is always the nicest one. So and of course you've been getting many wins after that since then. So what's the process when it comes to making a beat or making a song? 'Cause a lot of people, like I said, will think that, you know, find a beat on YouTube, give me a microphone, boom, let's just do something. Like, explain the process to how long it takes you to actually put together a track, from the choice of the beat to the choice of the verses, features, stuff like that. Like, what is the actual process of making that happen?
So the time it takes to make one track could be completely different. Like, it could be one day, it could be a couple hours, it could be a couple weeks when it comes to features or stuck on a second verse or even a hook that you can't seem to make until a lot later on. But and you said the process of making it. So the process would be like I said before, like when I'm in the car, put on a beat, or if I'm at home and I'm just writing a verse. But basically, like taking the beat, writing to it, and then there's what I like to do is I like to record it at home. I have a home studio.
Okay.
But I'm not good with the mixing and mastering and all of that stuff. So basically, I record it at home, practice it a couple times, and then when I know like it's perfect, I'll go to a professional studio and re-record the whole thing and bang it out quick.
And put it all together.
Yeah.
Okay. Dope Boy Diaries coming soon. You said in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks. I'm dropping it on not Saturday coming up, but the Saturday after that.
Okay, definitely. I'm definitely gonna make sure we check it out. Make sure that we promote that when we drop this episode, because like I said, not just because it's local talent, but people just need to hear. Especially, you know, you mentioned about Quebec. I totally understand that, because I do feel that there are a lot of artists right here in our city that don't get enough recognition. They don't get enough rise or shine. You know, being in fitness, you know, I don't know the ins and outs. I have a friend who works in media, and he tells me like even just to get on a microphone, just to be on the radio and stuff, it's hard to actually get through that whole process. Are your tracks being featured on the radio now? Or certain websites like
at the moment, no, but with Dope Boy Diaries dropping, I'm gonna have a lot of radio play on that blog.
Sick.
A lot of promotions going into that, so it's gonna be pretty good.
It's gonna be pretty good. Dope. Who would you say is your biggest fan right now?
My biggest fan?
Yeah.
My biggest fan, I think, would have to be my brother, to be honest.
Yeah.
Not even in the fan aspect, but more supporter, like biggest supporter. Like he's the one that when I don't want to do this anymore, he's the one that tells me like, no, I got to do this. Like,
you got to do this. Yeah. Because if you can see, that's a person who sees potential.
Yeah, for sure.
What you're able to do and what you're able to make happen. Does your mom listen to your tracks, or does she kind of like
Yeah. Like not as young, she's always been a big supporter of it. But yeah, she's a huge supporter as well. It's just that you asked my biggest one, and that's my brother.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Like all my shows that I've done in the past, even when I was young, she's been there. She used to, when I was young, she used to bring me to the radio stations. If I drop a music video, she shows it to her friends. Like if it's not too much, because I not too much like profanity and much, then she's her friends too. So
that's what I was gonna say. I'm like, she like, oh,
yeah.
I sent out this video. Like, whoa, okay. Nah, I feel that though. I don't understand. It's always great to have parental support, especially when they see too that you have a lot of potential in what you're trying to grow on. So this new project that you're dropping, Dope Boy Diaries, it's the fourth project that you've done so far. Number 4.
Fifth.
The fifth one. Okay, the fifth one. And what can we expect from you as an artist on this project?
So what I've been telling everybody lately is pretty much it's going to be similar to all my previous tapes in the sense of topics, but the difference is I'm actually telling stories. Like in the intro, I tell a story about when I was young, being broke, making my first bit of money. I have a track called Hustler, where it explains just me and a girl falling in love with a hustler and how she feels about it, her perception of the hustler. Another track, Moving On, I talk about how one of my best friends being incarcerated right now, how that affected me, and from the start to the finish, we even get him on the phone. So it's like it's all different, like deep stories, and that's why I called it the diaries part, because it's more than just me rapping my regular self. I put stories into it,
Right, for sure. That's dope, man.
Yeah.
Dope. That's dope, boy. I mean, listen, when a person can take on overcome the fear of being on stage, performing, being in front of the microphone, do you still get like nervous when you put tracks together, when you put stuff together, when you do shows, or is it just like second nature to you now?
For shows, yeah, I still get that little, not nervous anymore because I've done so many throughout my life, but like you still get that feeling like right before you're about to perform, you get that little nervous feeling. I still get that till today. So yeah.
That's dope, man. That's dope. But clearly you're expanding your audience, I'm assuming. Are you now, well, if I'm thinking about your audience now, it's not just local here in Quebec, not just in Toronto, because like you said, you mentioned you're from there, Mississauga, but do you notice that your airplay is getting more exposure in like US, across the world? Have you been hit up by other artists and other like producers and stuff to collaborate possibly?
Yeah, most definitely. I actually got a couple people from Germany, all around the world, like Brazil. And I have a friend that lives in Calgary, Canada. And he's a good friend of mine, so he promotes my music like crazy over there. Now when I look on Spotify, I'm getting like 25% of my listens are coming straight from Calgary, so that's pretty big over there.
Nice.
Africa, I got in Kenya, Congo.
Okay.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's moving out there. It's moving out there. So would you say your style is more adapted to like I know this project is more about storytelling, but um would you say your style is more like trap style? Is it more like what's the style that's now that a lot of people are on? Yeah.
Not really either of those. I like to mix both of them in. I even like to add some melodic stuff just so I could get like everybody to listen, but
Sure.
be versatile. But my main focus is just like in my eyes, like I like to call it hustler rap. Like I like to think of like Jada, Fabulous, 50 Cent, those kind of,
Okay, cool. That's dope, man. Once again, guys, we have King KLV on the show. Season 2, episode number 19. My guy is here in the building. We appreciate you being here for sure. We're gonna dig a little deeper into his rap history, into his projects and stuff that he's working on. You mentioned your first one being your favorite one because it was most fun because it's when you just got started, a taste of your first championship success from there.
Yeah.
When you started out and you started writing things, putting things together, did you have people kind of go like, other than you said your brother, was it just you writing them out, or was it other people kind of going, yeah, let me just throw this in here, like not on a level of like ghostwriting, but more like did people provide their input for you to go, oh, you know what, okay, that's cool too, and add this in as well, or are you more just like a solo person who puts this together?
About right?
Yeah.
For the first project, I had some help. You might be familiar with him actually. He owns a community center, West Haven. Name's Stephen Hennessy.
Okay.
And he helped me a lot. He definitely helped me a lot with the first project. Like he would help me say like, no, don't say this on the hook. It's not catchy enough. Put this instead, and then go with this. Don't start your verse off with I. Start it off with something like little things like that, So he was a big influence on that first tape. And yeah, definitely.
Okay. And when you pay attention to certain nuances and stuff like that, does that really make the difference in the song, or is it more like to them? Like, are you when you write stuff, is it more like, okay, if I say this is gonna grab a person better than, like you're saying this instead of that would get a person to more like appeal to it? Like, and how do you know that's what happens?
For sure. So it's weird because it's like tracks like Leveled Up. That, even though that was very fun for me to make, I didn't write any of the lyrics. I just went in the studio and just off the top kind of thing, punch in.
Okay.
But that was cool for me. But that was more of a track where I know that's what people want to hear. The drill sound is in right now, so let me go try and do this. When it comes to the tape, Dope Boy Diaries, that's coming, and a lot of my previous tapes, it's like it's what I want to do and what I'm going for my sound. So
right,
it goes hand in hand, and I could do both, But what I prefer to do is it's not really for the new audience; it's for myself and the audience that I already have that likes to hear me.
Okay. And how difficult is it to keep that same audience that you have? Like, do you feel like you have people who check you? Some people kind of go, I'm going to move on to something else. Do you often have a fear of losing your audience, or do you ever think like, nah, I'm just going to keep putting things out there, and I know that there's always going to be this core of people who are going to stick around and are going to check me?
Yeah, definitely. Like, it's just the main thing is just like to go back to like I love doing this, So, like I don't feel like I rap for the audience that's gonna listen. I don't do it for the people that are just like, oh, he's good, but I don't,
Yeah, for sure. For sure. If there's any artist out there right now, or even producer that you would want to work with or collaborate with, who's on your list? It can be multiple people too. It doesn't have to be just one.
I'd love to work with Dave East.
Nice.
Jadakiss is my favorite rapper, so definitely make it. And then some of the new guys too. I'd like to make a track with Lil Baby. The white dude that just came up, Jack Harlow.
Jack Harlow, yeah, he's dope.
Meek Mill. Yeah. Benny the Butcher. I don't know if you heard from him.
Yeah. His album is dope.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, there are a lot of artists out there that are just doing their thing, man. Like,
yeah.
Do you find yourself lately in the conversation of these artists who are doing their thing, or are you still trying to find your way to like get your name out there?
Still,
I know you mentioned in Quebec it's difficult, but like
still trying to find a way to get my name out there. But with this project that I have coming, I feel like I'm gonna open the doors a bit more. You know, I feel like the promotion that I have behind it, and the people that I have behind it, and just my focus is a lot better. So I feel like this is gonna be one of those ones that maybe not get me all the way to where I want to be yet, but kicking through a few doors. You know?
Yeah. Would you say so far your ride has been a successful ride, or are you kind of like Kobe minded, where it's like job's not done, we still got more to go?
Yeah, job's not done for sure.
That's
but
dope.
I like to do both. Like my mom told me that, like, even though I'm not where I want to be, it's like you got to enjoy where you're at now, because I still got through a lot of obstacles and have done a lot that I'm proud of and I feel successful about. So I like to enjoy those things, but at the same time, it's like, no, I got to keep pushing, and there's a lot more that I could do. You know?
For sure. That's dope, man. That's dope, man. That's amazing. With this new project coming out, you mentioned everything's very much in the story told. There's a little bit more in depth, deeper. It's going to open some different doors.
Yeah.
Of the tracks that you have right now, what are you playing the most?
Out of all of them,
and why? That's a good question.
Yeah, that is a good question.
Because I've heard I asked that because I've heard other artists say in interviews, they said, yeah, they have tracks on their album that if they were listening to themselves, they only play like a couple, because some of them they don't really like.
Yeah,
but I'm assuming that you like what you put out for sure.
Like all the songs on the tape are like good. Like I have different moods where I'll play different ones, right?
Cool.
But it's like what I'm listening to right now the most, I would say, is either the intro or I have a track called Not Perfect.
Okay.
And both of those are pretty good.
Are pretty good. Okay. What makes you want to listen to them as often as you have, or as often as you would have had you be a person who's opening up for the first time and checking it out?
The intro, I want to listen to it because it's just raw. It's just like the two stories behind it. There's two verses and different stories, and both of those verses I feel like are some of my best verses that I've made. So just the rawness to that one. And for the Not Perfect, it's more of like a melodic chorus, more like catchy. I previewed a little bit of it, and my people were going crazy. They're like, "Oh, this one, we want to hear this one." So I like that one a lot too.
Sick, man. That's sick. Yeah. And listen, like I said before in the beginning, it takes a lot of work to be in the position you're in. It takes a lot of growth, a lot of work, a lot of effort, a lot of hours that you have to put in for sure for doing that. For anyone out there that's on the come up like you, or maybe is considering just starting out, they have a talented ear for music, or they have the abilities to be versatile on the microphone. What would be the top 3 things you suggest for them to do first before they even get started?
This is for somebody that's never rapped and wants to start rapping?
Yeah.
The first thing I would tell them before I tell them anything is do this because you love it. Don't do it just because it's more of a trend thing now and everybody wants to rap now. Don't do it just because you want to get rich, or, like, it is definitely, I see some people that have made a way with it and have gotten rich from it, and that's good too. That's definitely good. But it's like, if your heart's not all the way in it for me, then I don't even suggest it to people, because it's like, if you're not going to love doing it, then even with the money, it's not going to, you hear rappers talk about it. Like, I don't even want to do this stuff anymore, So
yeah.
So that's the first thing I tell them. If you don't love it, don't get into it. The second thing is deal with taking criticism, because obviously when I started about a bit more than 10 years ago, obviously people weren't enjoying some of my songs, so I heard it from a lot of people, but just kept pushing, So dealing with criticism, that's one thing, and just staying patient. Like, it usually 9 times out of 10, it won't happen overnight where you have that one hit and you just blow up. It's like it's consistency. So staying patient, And what was the first one I said? Staying patient and
You mentioned do it for the love.
yeah. So do it for the love, constructive criticism, and stay consistent while being patient.
While being patient with that.
Yeah.
Three key things people got to remember in anything in life.
For sure.
But definitely for sure, if you're trying to make your way as an artist,
Mm-hmm.
If you have a talent, you have a skill, you want to make something happen, you got to be patient because success doesn't happen overnight.
No.
And if it does, it's usually short lived.
Yeah.
A lot of people out there put things out there. You go, whoo, you hear it, and then it's like that. You want to be able to put out content there that people are gonna bump for a while. I know I'm gonna bump 6'4" to 6'8" for a minute because that beat is man from the start of it. I was like, whoa, okay, you know. Are there any beats that you hear that you go so nuts that you're like, yo, I don't even know how I'm gonna put a verse on this? Like,
I have two beats that I just listen to all the time. I'm like, they're so good that I don't know what to do to them. Like, I don't know how I'm gonna start them. Like,
yeah,
for sure.
You're not sure if you're gonna make it like a lady track or be like, this is gonna be a hustle story. I don't know, man.
You're covering me.
That's amazing, man. Well, listen, man, I really do appreciate you sitting down, taking the time, discussing a bit more about your project and what you've been doing, and how you got started, your backstory, and all that, all how everything kind of came about.
Mm-hmm.
I've become a fan of what you've produced, not just because of the music that you put out, but even just a person who's taking the time to say, you know what, this is what I want to do. I've done it from a young age, and I do it for the love of music. It's great advice actually you provide with that, because I say that because even a person like myself starting a podcast, one of the things I learned was it may even take episode number like 99 for someone to actually hear it and for it to go somewhere.
Yeah.
And the fact that you've been doing it for as long as you have been doing it now for over 10 years shows that, you know, with consistent effort, things start to jump with that. Question I'm going to ask you though.
Yeah.
YouTube. Now, obviously I've watched different documentaries about like different artists, most artists out of Toronto and stuff like that. I've learned about who their views are at like 1 million, hundreds of thousands. Like, how difficult is it for you to get your stuff out there for you to get more viewers and more subscribers? Like, has it been a challenge for you, or are you?
Yeah, most definitely. But also, it's like I was saying before, just like I wasn't promoting right. And with I've been learning, like as I'm like doing this project, it's just like I'm searching up promotion skills and all types of stuff, and talking to people that have those numbers of views and asking them, how do you do this and that? But so it is hard, yes, but I feel like if you search and try and figure out how to get those views and how to get your stuff out there, then you definitely can. Like, if you look into it, you'll find the answers.
You'll have to find the answer for sure. Do you have a team that you work with now that helps you to kind of build that, or you just still do it on your own?
Still do it on my own, completely independent, for sure.
For sure. That's a lot of work doing on your own, though, man, I tell you. But I'm definitely gonna do my part to make sure that people know Dope Boy Diaries is coming out in about 2 weeks' time. Guys, please check it out. Show your support, show some love to the guy King KLV. I really do appreciate you coming out tonight and spend time and just getting to know you a bit more. We're definitely going to be on the lookout for new content when that project drops. You already feel like it's going to be fire. From what I've heard so far, your content, what you drop right now, what you dropped before in the past too, definitely makes me go, okay, you know, we got to be on the lookout for more Canadian artists as well as artists out of Quebec. You know, show some love out of 514 because people need to know what's going on out here. People are making some really doing some big things. So definitely for sure appreciate you coming through, spending time doing that. As you guys know, the Hustlers Journal is available on iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Breaker, as well as on Anchor and other podcast platforms where podcasts are being streamed. We appreciate you guys taking the time to sit down and listen, and make sure that you go check out, hit him up on Instagram. All his contact information is going to be available on there. Hit him up on YouTube, become a subscriber, check out his content. He's got more things on the way, more content coming, more hustle for you guys to pay attention to, because that's what we're trying to do out here, is make moves and make things happen. My guy, King K, appreciate your time, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you. Hustling. Oh, I appreciate y'all, man.
No problem. It's your boy, Coach K, signing out, guys. Let's get it done. Peace out.
Yes, sir.